What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is having a legendary day. We're, of course, going to go ahead and get into some draft recap, get some free agent signings, and, of course, the Niners actually made what I think might end up being a very, very big, huge signing for us, and it was done after the draft. But before we get started with all that, of course, we have to remind everybody to listen to the end of the show to get your special coupon code to save off of 10% off of all For the Faithful by the Faithful Season 2 apparel, exclusively available at NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop. Help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link and save 10%. All you have to do is click on the link in the description of the video or podcast. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets. And, of course, go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. And follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr, and at Niner Faithful Radio on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's start the show.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
All right, let's get the man with the master plan on here. What's cracking, Jason?
What is up, everybody?
So, yeah, we were chopping it up off air in the green room before the show started. And just real quick, Jason Verrett, of course, signed a one-year deal with the Niners. Hold on, let me go ahead and pull up the – yeah. The San Francisco 49ers have announced they signed Jason Verrett, quarterback Jason Verrett, to a one-year deal. Yeah, we don't need to really go into the nitty-gritty of all that. But, yeah, I honestly don't see why this wasn't done earlier. Now, of course, you mentioned up health, and let's be real, you know, he's been obviously recovering from a torn ACL. But I personally,
He might have been cleared, maybe.
Yeah, maybe there had to be some type of reason, but I personally, I don't know. I just don't. Oh, my bad, y'all. I'm trying to pin the post, the live, so y'all gotta give me a second. Anyway, I don't see anything wrong with it. Literally, you have a Pro Bowl caliber corner that you know. I mean, we don't know what Charvarius Ward's going to be. Now, we obviously have hopes and ideas, and, you know, fine, I trust Lynch Shahan, but I know what Jason Verrett could be because I've seen it. And you have him, then honestly, I really do believe that's the best secondary or starting corners, at least, that the Niners can come up with right now.
If they're both, yeah, if he's healthy, yeah. Because, I mean, as much as I like Ward, especially if he's number one, but Verrett comes back healthy, slide over kid.
Yeah.
You know, the big man's back. You know, that's his spot at number one.
Yeah. And, I mean, let's be real. It'd be 1A, 1B.
Yeah, basically.
But what we hope. And then you add into what we'll get into later. We're going to go ahead and list the undrafted free agents. Now, y'all got to forgive me if I mispronounce these names because I'm horrible with names. But Kevin Atkins, D lineman, 6'2", 307 for Fresno State. Absolutely no problem with the Niners adding D lineman Jeremiah Grimmel, linebacker, North Carolina.
I actually took him in some of my mocks. He's got good sideline to sideline speed.
Yeah, fine. Let him compete, and you and I have discussed this before, and I've been on record as saying the best coach position on the team is D line, but the best production, I feel, I don't know how to say it, but basically, I think low key one of the best, most underrated positions on the football team is linebacker.
Best bang for the buck.
Best, there you go. That's a perfect way to describe it. Best bang for your buck is that linebacker, because I expect the D line to be beastly. I expect us to lead the league in sacks this year. I expect this to be at least in the top 5 every year in, year out, as long with
With what the
as
amount
long
of
as
capital we've put into it.
with the amount of capital, and as long as you say that you have, a Nick Bosa or what they hope will be, a Drake Jackson. As long as we have one pure that dude type of pass rusher, even a D tackle, even obviously you prefer edge, but even if Aaron Donald type of player, I believe that this D line should eat as long as Chris Kosaric is our coach and we have a premier pass rusher. I expect our D line to be with as little as we've invested in the linebacker core as far as capital. Now, I understand Fred Warner was a 3rd round pick, but to have one of the best linebacking cores in the NFL, definitely a championship caliber linebacking core.
I'd say at least top 5 minimum.
Yeah, top 5 minimum. I think that's. I have no problem with giving linebackers. Yeah, no. Taylor Hawkins, safety out of San Diego State, 6'1", 205. It's got some size to him.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Cortez Knight, cornerback, 6 foot, 199, out of UCLA. Tyzer Mack, wide receiver, 6'2", 190. Pittsburgh, Tay Martin, wide receiver, 6'3", 185, Oklahoma State. Jordan Mason, running back, 5'11", 223. Damn. Georgia Tech. I would keep my eye on him. I don't know anything else, but if I've known anything as being a Niner fan, some undrafted free agent that the Niners pick up is going to make some impact this year.
Oh, I have highlights to show you on one of these guys.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Then we'll get to that right after this, and we'll do draft.
No, on the undrafted guys.
Oh, okay. I got you. Marcelo McCrae Ball. I have no idea. Linebacker, 6 foot, 214, Indiana. Another linebacker, some safeties, lineman. Jason Poe. I've heard some things about him.
Well, how much? Come on, how much have I been talking this kid up?
Yeah, you've been talking this kid up.
Okay, so while we're here, I'm gonna share something. Hold on.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. Get back on the screen. I'm curious.
All right, there it is.
Okay.
Put it up.
Yeah, my bad. All right.
Watch this.
Okay, so
look at the hands.
Yeah, he's got nice hands.
Just watch, man. This is why I fell in love with this guy.
So
look at him turn that corner after he grabbed it.
Yeah, he is an athlete. So for those who are going to be listening on the podcast, you might want to go to YouTube or whatever. They're showing some highlights of him basically running some routes. Honestly, if he was younger and you could say he could have some time to do it, I think he could slim down and play some tight end.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he could definitely slim down and play some tight end.
He's got some nice soft hand. Look, he slowed down for that ball. He slowed down for it.
I mean, you can tell he's a big man. But yeah, for a big man, he's moving now. Ooh, I like that.
Look at him move after.
Definitely got some movement skills and everything like that. He was taking snaps.
Yeah, well, he's pretty much played every position. I think he's going to be a guard personally, but.
So then, I like that. So for those who are listening on the podcast, you might want to watch on YouTube or whatever. Or Jason, go ahead and post that to the Facebook page.
And, I think I have a few times.
Okay, so it'll be on there. Maybe I'll reshare it or something. But yeah, I like that.
I love. Like I said, I've been watching him for a minute, and I was like, when we signed him up for as the unrestricted, I was damn near doing backflips in between him and Donovan West.
Yeah, I was just
two huge signings that we got unrestricted. I was flipping out over.
I was just about to say that was the one I was going to get into next. That's the big one that everybody has been saying, like, hey, this might be the one, and this might be our future center and everything like that. And I think this might look something. I think they're going to cut Jimmy. I think they're going to wait to the last minute but do it. And I see something like throwing some money at Alex Mack, like, hey, give us another year. Something happening, because the feeling I got from that pre-draft meeting was Alex Mack was going to retire.
Yeah, it was like when they talked about him, it was like he was already out the building.
Already out the building, and essentially was just trying not to give away draft, information. But the way that they're acting is like he's coming back.
I would disagree with that.
And when I'm saying that, it's not. So you mean to tell me Kyle Shanahan, who says, hey, tackles and center are who I pay on the O-line, is investing in a I just don't see the type of when you talk about the centers we've had here in the Niners, when you talk about Weston Richburg, who wasn't cheap. That was the premier center in 2018 in free agency, and the Niners paid for that.
Yep.
And then you go out and you get Alex Mack. We're going to waive 2017, which I think was just strictly like, let's field a football team, and see if we can find some people kind of situation, and find you're happy. You found DJ Jones, George Kittle, et cetera, et cetera. But I have a feeling he's coming back, and West is going to be somebody you're going to want to develop. We don't necessarily
have to develop somebody. We have Jake Brendel.
That's true.
He's been here for a minute. He knows the offense. Why couldn't he slide in and have those other guys? I mean, he's maybe not the top end, but he's already developed. He knows the system. He could put those young, you put two young guards on the side of him. He could put them in place.
And so, if you sit there, you say to me that we're taking a step. I don't want to say a step back, but our ambition should be the wild card, and maybe a playoff win, and that's what we should expect from the Niners. And we're taking a step back, so in 2023 we can invest more in the team. Lance will be in his second year, and that's when we'll go gung ho. And hopefully that launches us into the future for the next 20 years, and all that. Okay, fine. But if you're telling me that you expect a Jake Brendel, Aaron Banks, and I'll give Daniel Brunskill, because Daniel Brunskill is his daddy, to compete with the Yams, the Bucks,
and McGlinchey. Let's not discount him. Again, if he comes back healthy.
And that's. Now, I will say this. In the pre-draft press conference, he looked a lot better. He did not look as skinny. He looked like he had.
He started lifting and everything like a month and a half ago. But anything before that, I don't even care, because he couldn't lift. Yeah, no. So I will say that I'm encouraged to have Mike McGlinchey ready week one. I'm optimistically cautious.
There you go. I can't speak today.
Use your words.
I use my words. I can't speak today. Optimistically cautious.
Yeah, like I
about
said,
having a
anything more than like a
ready-
month and a half ago, I don't care. Like I said, the man had
Well, yeah.
surgery. He couldn't lift. So he was just probably, just sitting around, not doing much, maybe just running to keep himself in shape kind of
And
thing.
jogging, maybe.
Yes, I'm saying, but he wasn't
walking.
doing. Yeah, but I'm saying he wasn't doing anything to put that weight back on. And then, like I said, at the pre-presser, he actually started looking a lot better.
Yeah. And also, what I think that doesn't get talked to about what you see now, Joe Staley and Mike McGlinchey, who, let's be real, Joe Staley's Mike McGlinchey's idol. They're not, it doesn't, they seem to me to be the type of people that the reason that they're not naturally as big as you are. You and me are kind of big dudes. This is just naturally who we are. I think Mike McGlinchey would actually really, if he didn't play football, would really be that skinny.
Yeah.
And
he's
so
like a small forward in the NBA or something.
He's not naturally the type of dude that seems to be sitting around the couch eating potato chips and scarfing burgers and just naturally things that are going to allow you to keep on weight. So,
because Staley lost what, like 70 pounds?
Joe Staley looks insane.
He looks like he should play tight end damn near.
Now, I mean, let's be real. With Joe Staley, it's pretty obvious because let's be real, he was a tight end.
True, but I'm saying like now
into a tackle.
Yeah,
and so really, he just probably reverted to what he naturally would have been until somebody said, "Hey, beef up, and you're gonna, be a 13-year career left tackle in the NFL."
Yeah.
Well, I would have put, if you tell me I could have had a career Joe Staley did, I'd have packed on some weight. Now it is actually crazy the amount that they have to eat, and it's almost like, if you're not that type of person that has that type of appetite, it could be difficult keeping on the amount of weight that they do, especially when people don't understand the amount of calories that they burn.
Yeah,
through practice, through a game, whatever.
They're probably eating at least 15,000.
Oh yeah,
or 15,000 a day
easily. So all right, the way we're gonna do this today is I got the little Niners pull up with each of our draft picks, and we went and made a cool little video. So first we'll get started with Drake Jackson.
I was surprised he was left.
Yeah, with the first pick in the 2000, with the San Francisco's first pick in the 2022 NFL draft, the 49ers select defensive lineman Drake Jackson from the University of Southern California. As a Trojan, Jackson appeared in 28 games, 26 starts, recorded 103 tackles, including 24 tackles for loss, 12.5 sacks, 4 deflections, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 forced fumble. Jackson was a quarterfinalist in the 2021 Lot Impact Trophy and made the All Pac-12 second team and AP All Pac-12 second team. Pro Football Focus All Pac-12 second team, and Phil Steele's All Pac-12 second team. So I think what I hear, the reason that they picked this is said, hey, look, we're going to give the best D-line coach a great piece of clay to work with and to mold. And we think if anybody's going to get anything out of Drake Jackson with his natural ability, I mean, he looks yoked. The man was paid to play outside linebacker in 3-4 DN, whatever you want to call it. The man was paid to play in the trenches. He's just built that way. So
they asked him to lose weight at USC
and gain weight,
and he actually went down when he lost weight.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like with Glenchie, when he lost too much weight a couple years ago, the production went down because that's just not that wasn't natural for him, because he came in at like 270 or something like that, and they had him down to like 220, and then
that's a lot of weight.
And he just wasn't as good at that weight. He was faster, but it looked like he lost a bunch of strength that he could use to swat. Because in that video that we watched, most of the highlights that we saw was from his freshman year when he was bigger.
Yeah, and I think what's going to happen is Drake Jackson is going to benefit from some things he didn't get at USC. Top-notch coaching, because we all know that program's a mess from everything what I've heard. Continuity, there was a lot of coaching changes and everything
Yeah.
like that, and hence the reason he was moved to D end, outside linebacker. Well, that's not going to happen. You would assume Shanahan, the same coaching staff, would be
He's
apparently,
put his hand in there.
yeah, and consistent and top notch coaching. NFL way. So I believe that Niners are saying, "Hey, look, we're surprised he's still here. He was going to get drafted. Like he wasn't just going to go undrafted."
Oh, yeah.
And so some football team's going to pick him up likely. I don't think he would have stuck around until 93. So
No, I'm surprised you lasted past like 50.
I do too. So I think really honestly what the Niners are saying is we're going to give him the best chance to succeed. And I honestly do believe that. And if he ends up being a bust, then I don't. That's not the Niners' fault in the sense because you gave him every opportunity. And I think that what doesn't get talked a lot about busts is the players kind of really have the most say in that.
Yeah.
Or a lot to say, I should say. Okay, moving on from then. Let me go ahead and move this all the way down. Sorry, y'all. My unorganized ass sometimes. Okay, so number 93 in the third round, the Niners went ahead and said Kalia Davis Price, running back, Louisiana State University. LSU football described the running back as a downhill runner with excellent balance that has the ability to navigate through traffic and beat a defender to the edge. Davis Price was one of the top running backs in the SEC as a junior in 2021. He capped off his 3 years career with 1,744 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns, and had his best season as a junior with 1,003 yards and 6 touchdowns. He appeared in 36 games with 16 starts with a career average 4.6 yards per carry. Davis Price, a Baton Rouge native, set the Louisiana single-game rushing record with 287 yards in a win over the Florida Gators. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. I feel some type of way about that game. Anyway, go Gators. Anyway, he was a beast in that game, though. So I love it. Like I was telling you, look, third round running back, blah, blah, blah. Do we have to do this? But I love the player. I love the player in the sense that you and I were saying this doesn't look good for Trey Sherman or Jeff Wilson Jr.
I don't think it doesn't look good for Hasty, personally.
So you think just pre-OTAs, pre-anything, because you and I agree it's going to be 5 running backs on the roster. The 5th is going to be Juice.
Mm-hmm.
So you believe that it's going to be Elijah Mitchell, Trey Sherman, Davis, and Jeff Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I think I honestly, and you and I were talking a little bit about this off air. I honestly think that Jeff Wilson Jr., Trey Sherman, and Bryce Davis are competing for the 3 of them are competing for 2 roster spots.
Yeah,
I think it's.
I think Hasty has the most issues when it comes to fumbling and stuff.
He does.
So, and we didn't really get a good look at Trey Sherman for the most part. Yeah, he didn't look great in his times that he was given to play, but he's still a second-year rookie. Hasty's had time. He's not shown anything. The fumble issues haven't really gone away. I think it's just time to cut. Like I said, at times he looked good, but I think it's just time to cut ties. And we keep Wilson just because more than anybody else, he's been the steady one. He may not be the best. He's the steady one.
I don't want to get rid of Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
I think one of the big reasons why the running game was struggling in the beginning of last season was because we didn't have Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
And it was clear Elijah Mitchell isn't a bell cow running back. I think we learned that last year. And so what the Niners did is I believe they insulated themselves. They insulated themselves and said, look, essentially, we have Jeff Wilson Jr. If he's not available, then you have, Davis Price or anything like that. And I think what is going to benefit in the Niners in the sense of after you've been running, JaMychal Hasty around all game, or, you've been dealing with Jeff Wilson Jr., you're not going to want to tackle Davis Price because he is a physical, like that's one thing when you watch his highlights and the way he plays, he lays the thunder.
Yeah.
He makes you feel it. And so in the fourth quarter of a game, you're not going to want to tackle him.
Not to mention, one of the best things about him is his pass protection.
And pass protection, which we all know JaMychal Hasty has struggled with. So I think this is doomed for Trey Sherman. I think he's really essentially what they want Trey Sherman to be. And so I don't find, they let go of Joe Williams. I don't want them to let go of Trey Sherman. I think it might come down. I think it might come down to, can we convince Jeff Wilson Jr. to stick around on the practice squad and say, hey, eventually you're going to play because we're just not going to keep the same 4 running backs all season.
Okay. That's
just not going to happen. You will play. You will play a significant role, Jeff. You know this. Okay, next pick. And this one's actually a really cool one for my big. Oh, wow. Why did I close it? Okay, we got Danny Gray. I think I closed the Danny Gray one.
No, just play on screen.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, no. The little clip that the little type up the Niners side. With San Francisco's third pick in the 2020 NFL draft, the 49ers select wide receiver Danny Gray from Southern Methodist University, better known as SMU. Gray started all 10 games played as a Mustang and registered 49 catches for a team high 803 yards, 8th in the ACC or AAC, and 9 touchdowns, 3rd in the AAC. He averaged 80.3 yards per game, 16.4 yards per carry, and 4.9 receptions per game, leading a team with 843 all-purpose yards his senior year. NFL analyst Lance Zerlin described the receiver as a top playmaker for SMU in 2021 and showed an ability to work with all 3 levels of the field. His long grinding slides separate from coverage on attacking oriented routes, but his ability to blend agility and become a quick target working underneath.
He's fast, like 4.39 speed.
Yeah, he's a speed demon.
Yeah, he's going to take the top. He's going to be the guy that goes deep and all those underneath routes are just going to open up.
I honestly think this is really them trying to get Marquise Goodwin.
Basically, he's that type of player.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what this is. No problem with it yet again.
Again, go through the mock drafts. I drafted him damn near every time. Later low, but I still drafted him.
Yeah, but it's like I said, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of where you took somebody and somebody could be, I know the Patriots are receiving a lot of shit for Cole Strange.
Well, yeah.
And you know what? If Cole Strange ends up being a Hall of Fame center, is anybody really going to care that somebody had him mocked in the 3rd round?
It's not that he was mocked to the 3rd; it's that they took him in the 1st. That's the
well, yeah.
He was the reach of all reaches in the draft. And
I mean, I'm not saying that it was the right move. I'm curious. I'm curious to see if the Patriots pick before us again. Because I'm curious if they thought, hey, we don't take them in the 1st, San Francisco will take them in the 2nd.
Yeah.
But that could be the reason. But giving Bill Belichick some credit. And also, I mean, like we talked about, I want to say it was on our day 2 show that we did. And then we have 49ers media on. Like we were saying then, it's ultimate job security. He's Bill Belichick. He can do shit like that. And fine. Are you gonna fire? Are you gonna be the one that fires Bill Belichick? You know,
another good thing that I like about Gray, he's got a little meanness in him.
Yeah, that's the one thing. And you brought up that Kyle looked at this team maybe as a little soft last year. And that's the one thing that they said in their press conference at the end of day 2 is that his number 1 trait is his speed, but his number 2 trait is his toughness. And so I think that this is battling out with Juwan Jennings, and I think that I love it as if you mean to tell me that really if he essentially just becomes a 4th receiver that you throw, deep post to and everything where you're just like, hey, Lance is going to throw it up and he's got the physicality and the want to just go up and grab jump balls and out physical people, or his toughness or whatever it is to go over the middle on a deep over route, which I have a feeling that this team's going to throw a lot of now that they have a quarterback who has the arm to throw that. I mean, could you imagine his speed? Could you imagine him running? Let's be real. The highlight of Trey Lance is to me of Trey Lance's rookie season is not the touchdown to Debo against the Texans. To me, it's the touchdown to Trent Sherfield in the preseason.
Yeah.
Because that to me showed what ultimately he could be. And it's like, look what you can get. If he could put this together consistently, then yeah, he's well worth the trade that we made to get him. If that's what we get eventually at a consistent level, that's scary. That's adding some trophy cases. That might be talking about Canton.
Look at this receiving core. Each one is almost like a specialty in a different thing.
Which everybody is what Kyle wants.
Yeah, I'm saying like you can't say, they got nothing but quick receivers. They got nothing but big receivers. What are you going to do when you line up, Debo, who can pretty much do whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
You get Ayuk, who's probably the best route runner of the bunch. Then you got Jennings, who's the big body who'll go up for stuff, and then you throw Kittle across the middle. Then you got Danny Gray going deep. What do you do? I love it right now.
Could you imagine Danny Gray on that Trent Sherfield route in the preseason game? It's gone. It's a cheat code. Yeah. It's a cheat code, and I think that's what Kyle Shanahan wants. Kyle Shanahan's looking at that like, if you could give me that at a consistent level, I'll put multiple trophy cases up at 49-49.
Yeah.
If it could be at a consistent level, because Shanahan will get him open. I have faith in that. If he can run the route the proper way and do what he's coached to do, Shanahan will get him open. So the one knock I have heard on him is hands, but I've always heard that's a problem with speed guys. And I mean, look, when you're moving, he's probably moving at a speed that none of us could really comprehend. So to be running at that type of speed and then reaching up and then grabbing a football that you might be moving faster than. Yeah. I think that's not a level of difficulty. It sounds easy in your head, but none of us have ever ran 4.3 speed.
Well, no, I'm just kidding.
Unless you might put the treadmill up that high. But
maybe for like the first 5 yards. What's up, media?
What's up, media? How you doing, baby?
But yeah, he's quick.
Yeah, he's fast. So, Spencer Buford. What is our next pick? I have. Oh, okay. You have it right now. 4.33 speed. Okay, this one was a cool one. Big shout out to my boy CG Ruthless. He went ahead and had an interview on him. Matter of fact, maybe I'll post that on the Facebook page so you can go watch it. It was a real dope interview, and I think he's got to jump in a pool or something. I have. He said, just kidding. I think he's supposed to jump in a pool or something. I gotta hit him up. See if or rewatch the video, check the tape to see what exactly it is he's gonna do. But because he was like, oh, if the Niners draft you. But
another
I love it.
mean guy.
Mean, physical, versatile.
I don't think he plays a lot this year though.
Oh no. A lot of the theme I've heard from a lot of the scouts or scouting and all that, check out my video on the scouting report of the Niners draft class type of videos that I've watched. I'm not saying that, they're any type of professionals or anything, but it's been developmental. It's been, give them a year, give them 2 years. Let's see if they can develop. And this is my type of thing where it's, I'm looking at this year. If you would have looked, this is the last year of Linchen's original deals.
Yeah.
And so to me, I feel that after this season, you can give them a fair, you really honestly could do it all already, but you could really give them a fair assessment after this season and say, okay, where are we in the, what we'll call second half of the Linchen era? And, I think 3 playoff appearances in 6 years, a Super Bowl berth, and even if it's 2 NFC Championship berths, I don't think that's too bad.
No,
but
most teams would love to have that sort of
would
track
kill
record
for that
right now.
So, but as you reevaluate, as you say, okay, where are we? Which we of course know that they do this every season, but this is one of the things that we start to look and say, okay, O-line, can you be? Now, I'm not saying Chris Kosaric like the best in the NFL, but can you? It all depends on Trey Lance. Yeah, it does obviously all depend on Trey Lance. To me, can you develop our future right guard? Can you develop if you're not going to stick with Mike McGlinchey, which honestly, I think we should, in the sense that when are you going to draft a better right tackle, okay, for what you want? And you could say, okay, next year's draft, what, the one where you still don't have a first-round pick? Oh, so you're going to get a premier top 10 right tackle in the second round. Oh, it's just that easy to do, huh? Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Okay, so fine. Even the first round. When are we going to be high enough to get a premier tackle again? Mike McGlinchey was taken with the 9th pick. Right or wrong? That's the area you're going to get your right tackle. Do you want to have the 9th pick? I don't.
Not unless you're giving up stuff to move up there like we did for Trey.
Well, okay.
That's the only way I want to be up that high again.
Yeah, fine. But I don't want to do that for a right tackle. For a question at right tackle when I know what Mike McGlinchey is. And I don't feel that he's holding this team back. Is he part of the problem sometimes? Yeah. Is he part of the problem sometimes? Yeah, he can be on particular plays and, whatever. Is he a little bit in his head too much? Yeah, sure. But I don't feel that the reason this team hasn't brought home trophy number 6 is because Mike McGlinchey. If anything,
he's got more benefits than
anything, it was Mike Person.
Yeah,
it's Chris Jones killing Mike Person that cost us, ring number 6. If you're going to blame it on the offense, or at least the offensive line. So, but can you develop a right guard? Because this is where I want our right guard to come. I'm fine with Aaron Banks. You take the second round, invest heavily. Cool. Awesome. But really what you want, this is where you want your starting offensive lineman. Except in the positions you value, which are going to be center and tackle. But your guards, you want to get your guard with what was it? 4th pick. Or that's the 4th pick in our draft. The 4th round at pick 134. If I could get my starting right guard, there year after year, or whenever I need one, I'll take that all day, every day. Because your first round, second round picks are going to be spent on your tackles, your edge rushers, your receivers, quarterbacks, whatever. So if the fourth and fifth, sixth, seventh round is where we're getting, our starting right guards, and it's not, that's not bad at all. I'll take that all day, every day. So I love the Spencer Buford pick. And the thing I love about it even more, is with the undrafted class, which you've always heard is this class is so heavy in offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Is you've insulated yourself, you've attacked. Okay, so at this point, have you given yourself a little bit of luxury? Yeah. Okay, fine. Drake Jackson was a luxury. Okay, honestly, truthfully, I think whatever corner, safety, whatever they were entertaining was gone. They said it was a handful of players, and I think some of those players were gone. I'm not saying he was last on their list, but I don't think he was first.
No, I just don't think I don't think many people expected him to be available.
No, I don't think so either. And so that might have been, hey, I don't think if who we wanted was on the board, I think we take them. But if it's hey, we wanted Cole Strange, and he's gone, and here we have Drake Jackson, who we thought would go in the 50s, here at 61, why don't we do this? And so was he a luxury? Yeah, but we insulated ourselves where we could say, hey, we're strengthening our strength. And like I said before, I believe it was either on media or our draft shows, I said this team's like a crack fiend for what they had in 2019. They're a crack fiend they're gonna always chase their first high. And I believe in their philosophy because I watched it work. I watched this be the best team in football. There was no game in 2019 where I felt the Niners weren't the best team in football. I thought there were games we didn't play like it, or a team may have got up for us, like the Falcons. I was telling people about that game for weeks, and I was scared about that weeks because I was like, it's the fucking Falcons Super Bowl. Especially the fact that what we were playing for at that point in time. Oh, I guarantee you that was their fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's what scared me. And then you found out the injuries and Anyway, so this team is second round pick, you got a receiver, or your second pick you got a running back, then a receiver. So you took what this team values and what you're building your team around. And then you fill the bottom in late round free agency with offensive linemen. I have absolutely no problem with the approach of this draft. Sammy Womack, 5th round corner. For those who don't believe that this team doesn't invest in the secondary, but he's going to be a nickel.
There's Mosley's replacement.
Honestly, I could see it. I could see it.
Another burner, 4.4 speed in the 40. I mean, again, they went for some serious speed between him and Danny Gray.
You know what he did? You know what made me feel that way, Jason? When I look back and looked at the statistics and really, really found out is that you know what? If this team was really sold on Emmanuel Mosley, have you noticed it's always been little 1-year deals?
He's not as good as everybody thinks he is.
And so I think what it's always been with Emmanuel Mosley, the more I've studied and more I've really thought about it, is essentially the second we get somebody better than you, you're gone. And so
Darius Ward, Jason Verrett, all those guys, they're going to,
whoever.
Henry Thomas if he takes the next step.
Yeah. Fine, whoever.
Develop.
And he survived just because he's always been the second best corner.
He's always been healthy. for the most part.
For the most part. And he's always been the second best corner.
Yeah.
And so this might be them saying, okay, hey, again, and eventually his luck might run out. Now, he might mess around and just be the second best corner for 7 years, you know. And you say, oh, damn, but Emmanuel Mosley had himself a little bit of a career.
Oh, he has. I'm not saying he's bad.
Oh, no. Especially when he's undrafted.
Yeah. He's just.
I mean, Emmanuel Mosley doesn't make the 50. He will. But if he doesn't make the 53 roster next year, this year, I don't think he has anything to be ashamed of.
No, because he'll have teams calling him instantly.
I believe that. Yeah, I believe that his career won't be over.
No.
But even if it was, I mean, and even if it's, you know, amongst athletes and superior athletes and everything like that, he could be like, look, bruh, I survived longer than you. The average career in the NFL is, I believe, 3 years and 3 games.
Something like that, yeah.
And Emmanuel Mosley is beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So
he done well for himself.
Even to most people who play in the NFL, he can say, hey, look, lasted longer than you, bruh. And also, you know what I found an interesting statistic? You know, 66% of the league is made of day 3 or undrafted players.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Now, I really, truthfully, you know what I really think that really, truly why that is? I don't think it has so much to do with talent. I think it has to do because it's cheap.
That and the scouting for it. Look at look at how many people that didn't have George Kittle draft, ranked very high, and now look at just stuff like that. Some guys
Some of it is people hitting on 5th round, George Kittle in the 5th round, Richard Sherman in the 5th round, Russell Wilson in the third round.
You don't show up for whatever reason in college. You play a system that doesn't necessarily benefit you to show all your stuff, and then all of a sudden you get someplace along like, damn, this guy can really play. Let's use him like this, and all of a sudden, bam, now you're top of the league.
Yeah, just takes one opportunity. Okay, so Nick Zakel, offensive lineman, Fordham. Never heard of this school.
I've heard of Fordham. Other guys in the NFL, it's just him. Another, again, mean motherfucker that's coming in. He's another mean guy. A lot of guys are saying that it's not necessarily his physical attributes for why they wanted him. Apparently, just his mental side of the game is just amazing.
Look, you're going to spend, if you mean to tell me you're going to spend pick 187 on a chance that you're going to say, hey, I think this dude's want to is most, because a lot of these dudes are all roughly around the same size. It's not like you're going to have a offensive lineman that's 5'7", they're all roughly around 6'1",
6'2", 3 to 315.
Yeah, roughly all around the same size. So really, a lot of it does come down to want to. Eric Davis says all the time on his podcast that he used to say you either want to hit a grown man and put him on the ground, or you don't. Either you want to run full speed into that man, head first. That's 300 plus pound man. Plus whatever force is coming with you at 300 plus pounds. Either you do or you don't. Simple as that. So yeah, mean and smart and just nasty, and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe these mean, smart, nasty people will be,
I like the clip of him where he smacked the dude in the back of the helmet.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? And I think that's assault in 26 states.
Probably. Really, honestly, I think what Shanahan saw, and this should excite you as a Niner fan, is that essentially the Yams D-line won them the NFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And Shanahan said, I will not be out physical like that. And fine, good. That should excite you as a Niner fan. That's your head coach learning. That's your head coach seeing an issue and fixing it. not saying these are the and so I mean, even last year with Aaron Banks, who is big, physical. Now I don't know if you would describe him as mean and nasty, but he's definitely big and was blowing dudes up.
Yeah.
So I think that people want them to go out and sign the best guard and go out and or use the first round, trade up in the first round and pick the best guard, or trade Debo or whatever. I don't think anybody really wants them to trade Debo.
No, there's some people out there who do.
Well, yeah, there's people out there with any opinion. There are people out there that would argue the sky is orange.
It is a time.
I'll say that. I will say, sky actually has no color, but I will say that there are some people out there that have made some intriguing cases about how Debo might not be worth the money.
Well, yeah, but you can do that for anybody in the league. You can
exactly.
play that game with anybody.
And really, honestly, it's like I said with George Kittle, with Trent Williams. You're not paying for year 5 of Trent Williams. In the sense of you're not paying. You're really paying for years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 of Trent Williams' contract. And you're talking, even if you can't get out of at year 5, you're saying, hey, I'm willing to just deal with the consequences of that to get 3 good years of prime years of Trent Williams. Same with George Kittle, same with whatever player. So I think that when you see, and next pick is Kalia Davis. It used to be a linebacker, then converted. And it's funny. It's actually interesting. I'm going to talk to my uncle. My uncle is the dean at University of Central Florida. So I'm going to talk to my uncle, see if maybe he had a class with them or something. Taught one of his classes.
Check this one out.
Yeah, okay. I'm interested to see this.
Just a funny one.
Let me go ahead and add this up.
He just put that up there, 22. Like I said, I thought that was funny. I was like, and I went through his tweets. He's like, all right, I like this kid. He's funny.
That is funny.
Gun hanging out. I like it.
Yeah. That was funny. But yet again, 6'1", 301 pounds. Started the first 5 games of 2021 season. Nothing. Like I said, they're saying, hey, we're getting our best coach, more options, more darts at the dartboard, and can we get and what got my ears intrigued is John Lynch said that he saw a lot of DJ Jones in him.
Which, who doesn't love them some DJ Jones?
Yeah, I'm really heartbroken DJ is gone.
Yeah, we all are.
So awesome, love it, and you can't ever have enough big uglies. And then lastly, Tarico Castro Fields, making 30 starts at corner for Penn State. He had something like 16 pass breakups in the last 2 years, or some crazy amount that
25 passes defended.
I think that they're going. Yeah, 25 passes defended. There you go. So I think that they're betting. Oh, wait, let me do the little video. I think that they're betting on want to here. And sometimes you get diamonds in the rough. And you got to take some players. And I think that this is even not every player drafted is going to be a starter. Sometimes they just need to play in for a game. Sometimes they're going to spill out your special teams. Sometimes they fill out the bottom of your roster because they're young and they're cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're having Kittle maybe starting to get a little expensive, and Warner's going to get expensive here. Trent Williams is going to start to get expensive. Debo, we all hope, is going to become expensive. So, you need to fill out the bottom of your roster with young, cheap talent. And you know what? If you draft enough of it, you might just find yourself some diamonds in the rough. I have no problem with this pick at all. And, of course, Mr. Irrelevant himself, which Brock Purdy, which honestly, I believe this might be the first time in my life the Niners have had Mr. Irrelevant.
I don't think he's going to be as irrelevant as he seems. I've actually watched tape of his. He actually looks pretty damn good at times.
I think what the most positive report I've heard of him is like, hey, look, he might be a backup for a good 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
And go ask Steve Bono or Elvis Gerback, or Jeff Garcia. How starting off as a backup turned out for them. Steve Young, shit.
Yeah.
So,
I liked his game tape. He's, obviously he's not as mobile as say Trey is, but he moves around the pocket very well.
I honestly think that this is the type of pick that it's like, look, Billy also used to draft quarterbacks. I believe it was every year. And the idea of being like, look, if you draft one, eventually you're going to hit on one. And I'm not saying the Niners have drafted anything, close to a starter or whatever like that. But if
you're going to hit a position, hit quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can never have too many good quarterbacks. And especially if you can turn around in a couple of years, flip him for anything. It's not going to be picked 262.
Yeah.
So it'll obviously be at anything be a gain.
There's already people saying that the Niners already realized that they screwed up with Trey and that this is the replacement. I'm like, come on.
Awesome. Then you know what? If
I mean, the chances of that are so far out there, but it's just like, come on, people.
Well, okay, cool, awesome. If you did that, then I'm pretty pissed. That not that you went up to 3, but that you went up to 3, thought you got your quarterback, realized it, and then all of a sudden literally waited to the last pick of the draft the next year to get your apparent franchise quarterback. Yeah. Okay, so that was your strategy. Okay.
Have you seen his highlights?
No, I have not actually.
See if I can pull him up real quick. Like I said, I liked his play style.
There are some people that I heard that seem like he might have a little something. Like maybe never a starter, not Super Bowl, top MVP caliber quarterback. But you know what? Hell, sometimes you need a backup for a couple games. It ain't gonna necessarily win you the game, but not lose you the game.
Yeah,
and if one thing we know about Kyle Shanahan is he doesn't lack in confidence. So I really do believe he believes in his quarterbacks to say, hey, look, as long as you don't fuck it up, I can actually get us, through these.
Yeah, games. I can do something with you.
Yeah. All right, go ahead and.
What does that look like? Does that look like a Jimmy play kind of thing right there? The little fake handoff. That's more like a Trey because you got the RPO right there.
Yeah.
Nice pocket.
Yep. Nice. That's a great ball.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. Look, he's on the roll right now. So
some spunk.
Tell me that's not looking like Trey right there.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I have. You're not going to necessarily always get athletes like Trey Lance.
Yeah.
So if you tell me that you could get somebody that can move like that at pick 262, now he's not going to look like that in the NFL.
Well, no, but I mean he'd have to develop into it.
But yeah, I have no problem with literally making this dude the last pick of the draft.
And he's doing that against Oklahoma. How many?
Yeah, that's Oklahoma right there. Yeah, that's Oklahoma right there. So I'm actually, you know what? I might have to go watch the Brock Purdy. I might have to do a little bit more research.
He's better than Mr. Irrelevant. Honestly, in this draft class, he should have gone higher, honestly, I thought.
So I'm curious. Now, like I said, obviously, I don't think he's going to breed out Trey or whatever like that.
I had Purdy my last mock draft, round 7. Yeah. He's a lot better than Mr. Irrelevant.
All right, Purdy my last draft, round 7. Yeah, thanks, Niner-minded. Or 49er-minded, I should say. But, yeah, exactly.
He's not the mobile or statue quarterback. I've seen so many people put up there. Oh, he's just your typical pocket quarterback. No, he's not. He moves pretty damn good.
I watched Purdy in 2020. Had some Russell Wilson type abilities. And molded. He doesn't have the arm strength. A lot of the throws he made are similar to the things we do. So okay, fine. Like I said, I have no problem with it. This is where you want to get your backup quarterback, ideally.
Yeah.
And so, if you're not team, I really wanted
to. That's what I've been trying to tell people.
Yeah.
I have more faith in him than I do in Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah, honestly. I was about to say. So, I mean, because Jimmy's not going to be our backup. Okay. I don't even want to entertain that as a possibility. Well, okay.
Depending on who you listen to,
okay,
look, opinions are like everything right now with it. So,
I just really okay. Let me rephrase it this way: I'm going to have some serious issues with if Jimmy's still on this team after training. Okay, and I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I'm not. He's not a Sudfeld guy either. I don't really understand the hype either. So ideally thinking Jimmy's gone.
Is there actually somebody who is a Sudfeld guy besides his parents? I mean,
Kyle.
And nothing against you, but
whoever is the one that convinced Kyle to bring him on, because it was somebody who convinced Kyle to bring him on.
Yeah, it was one of the coaches from the Eagles.
Yeah, so
I think it was.
It was our quarterback coach last year, because it was the one that got Jimmy ready in 2017. Why can't I think of his name right now? 49er minded, if you could help me out. It was the quarterback coach Shanahan's first year. And then he left and went and coached to the Eagles, and he coached Nate Sudfeld. And then when he came back to the Niners last year, Crocker was trying to tell me he's one of the players, told him Sudfeld is good. Really? Okay. I mean, talent knows talent, but
I just haven't seen it yet.
I have no problem them battling it out in camp. And
one of them probably in the practice squad.
And I've heard that Sudfeld's a little mobile, but I mean that looked nice. Look, fine, understand competition or anything like that, but that little highlight reel, that looked nice. Just gonna go. There you go. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. That's what I was thinking of. That's the one who convinced Shanahan to bring on Nate Sudfeld.
I mean, you talk about conference. He played in the Big 12, so it's not like he was playing against a bunch of nobodies from somewhere. He actually played in a decent conference.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're matching up against Oklahoma, that's a school with some pedigree.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot. You got Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas at times, TCU. So I mean, you got good teams there. Wisconsin, Ohio State.
You've got some teams that have produced NFL talent on defense.
Yeah,
most definitely. Some and D linemen at that too. So yeah, I guess Jason. Let me make sure we don't have any more highlights. Oh, just real quick, this day in the Bay, May 3rd, 1979, Bill Walsh had his first draft as Niner head coach. So within the next couple of days, we drafted, I'm not going to say the two best players in franchise history, but the two players that essentially had the biggest impact on the franchise history when you say this is a draft that we got Joe Montana and Dwight Clark. I mean, that's pretty significant draft in team history. So, Jason, final thoughts on the draft?
It was definitely not the sexiest draft because obviously we weren't drafting a high-end wide receiver, high-end defensive. Well, I think Drake Johnson's a pretty good defensive end. But, we didn't have that big first-round pick. But I think what we did get was we got a lot of young depth that's going to start to fill in the next 2 or 3 years. We didn't even really talk about Donovan West. And he was one of the centers I really loved that we signed. And I think he actually got a guarantee on his.
I have to look that up. But exactly. I think this is a very socks and underwear type of Christmas. Danny Gray was my sexy pick. I went off.
Everybody was in love with Danny Gray.
Everybody was, yeah.
Everybody loved him.
I think that this is boxers and socks. Or this is that, you get that nice warm hoodie.
Yep.
Still of a signing. Yeah, Donovan West is a still of a signing. I think so too. Well, this is the type of draft that people are gonna. I don't think people will fully. You're not gonna fully appreciate this draft in 2023.
No, not really.
Or I'm sorry, 2022. Probably maybe some of it. I think you might see in 2023. You might fully start to appreciate, but I think the full impact of this draft will be felt in 2024.
A lot of these guys are very young. They're like
Yeah.
20, 21. They've still got some build. They still got a little bit of growing to do. They got to fill up their bodies. Like
and so I think
this 295. So he's put a little bit of weight. The only one I want to lose a little bit of weight is Jason Poe. I really want to get him down to like 270, maybe play some tight end. Just because I love the kid. I've been watching him for a while, and I love him. So, could you imagine Trent Williams pulling and then Jason Poe running up behind him?
That would be
just
crazy.
for something stupid. I mean, I've been having dreams of that.
But no, I definitely think this is underwear and socks Christmas. But by 2024, 2025, when we got some young players that are cheap and making an impact as this football team starts to get more and more expensive to keep our premium stars, I think that we'll appreciate that 2022 draft where we got a lot of the depth that's making impacts that allow us to keep certain players. All right, Jason, I guess we shall see y'all next week. Make sure y'all go to Niner Faithful Radio's Facebook page. Jason does a bang-up job. He's got a while until he's got mock-up drafts, but there'll be something. There's always something he's putting up. Some type
content
of
will get a little low here after training camp because it'll just be memes until next season.
Yeah, pretty much. So, all right, y'all. All right, Jason. We'll see you later, brother.
It's been good, y'all. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Jason, for coming on again. I'd like to thank 49ers Media and 49er Minded for commenting and coming in to have some fun. Of course, before we get out of here, we have to remind everybody to help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our affiliate link at shop49ers.com. A link is available in the description of this video or podcast. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Subscribe to Niner Faithful Radio by going to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe and follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr, and at Niner Faithful R on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, also, thank you for tuning into the end of the show. As promised, this week's discount code for 10% off all Season 2 for the Faithful by the Faithful apparel is Season 2. 10% excludes anything on sale items and cannot be combined with any other coupon. Coupon expires midnight, August 30th. I shall see y'all next week. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
See ya.